Hey everyone, it's Jody here, your Wednesday host for FTRealM, and I hope everyone is having a good week. I'm having a good week. Crazy as always. Story of my life. If you guys are in school, if you've been in school, you remember being in school, you know how crazy this life is. So, one day will not be so crazy, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So, I'm going to jump into this week's topic, which is choose our own topic. So, we're coming to a close, and then next week we're going to take a break and then we'll jump back into it the week after. And so, what I kind of want to talk about is perceptions of masculinity and how it can change based on how people perceive us, even if they're the same people you've already been hanging out with pre-transition, pre-hormones compared to later now. So, coming from my perspective, I obviously identify as a trans man, and this can also portray to people that are gender nonconforming but identify more on the masculine side, so those that are wanting to take hormones or have been on hormones for a certain period of time and maybe they stopped, something like that. And so, getting into it here, what I'm talking about or what I'm thinking is when I say perceptions of masculinity is that 4 years ago, I was perceived as like a butch lesbian. I was had short hair, I liked women, and so people put me in this category being a butch lesbian, and how when I had like a more dominant personality in those situations, it was celebrated. And then now, being on testosterone for 3 years and such, and this really hasn't happened in about a year and a half or so, give or take some time. And so it was like, now people are perceiving me as just wanting to be that white man in taking over the entire world. And that actually is not the case, but like, I was thought that I was like, more confident in myself and stuff like that, while people were perceiving my confidence and my happiness in my identity and being more comfortable in my body as something as very domineering or misogynistic. And it's really interesting because a lot of people don't talk about that perception there. And I think that it's actually really important to see this change once people start viewing you in as your identity, as your true identity. And so, I actually had one of my friends tell me that I was trying to take over every situation, that I was always trying to insert myself, and that I was just being like this masculine asshole. And so I really like took that to heart. And it kind of actually made me sad because I felt that I was just being me, but I was like more confident in being me. Like I was feeling more comfortable and confident in my body and in myself and in my identity, that I could actually do more stuff in a group setting or be more like upfront about my feelings and stuff like that. Whereas before, I wasn't comfortable enough and I wasn't confident enough in myself to do those sort of things. And so I find that that's really interesting, and I ended up having a sit-down conversation because I think since transitioning, and the friends that have come into my life have really actually made me more mindful of how I talk and the language that I use. And yes, I do revert back to my military, short, snippy types of language at times, but I really try not to because I feel that that comes across as very aggressive and very negative. And so it's really interesting that before it was, yeah, go get 'em, you're hardcore, like you're gonna go places, and now it's like you're just being a dick. Stop being a dick, and stop being a masculine asshole. And so, sitting down with this person, we came to the conclusion that what we were both perceiving was like how I was trying to come across and how they were perceiving me was a little bit inappropriate for the situation, and that we've all mended our ways and we've apologized, and it was really coming across as like they were viewing me as more male, and so their idea of like men doing these things or more masculine individuals doing these things, that this is what they were trying to do. So they were trying to do a one size fit all box for just male or masculinity, and that's just unfortunately not the case. And so I don't know if anyone else has ever had any situations like this. I haven't actually ever come across many videos like this, so I'm kind of tossing it out there, hopefully maybe getting some other perceptions or some ideas out there from some other individuals out there, and that's about it. And if you guys want me to elaborate on something, about the situation or anything like that, definitely let me know, and I will in the comments below. And I will see you in 2 weeks. All right, peace.